You're listening to tcbradio.com, tcbradio.mypodcast.com, and I have a very famous person with me.
Oh, very famous.
So why don't you say hello and tell us
Hello, my name is Jen Chapin.
And you are?
I am a musician. I'm an activist. I'm going to be speaking today.
Oh, what time? What time?
At 4:45.
Okay. And we are at the Long Island Green Living Expo, which is greenlivingliexpo.com, in case you're on the computer and surfing.
I think everybody is. I would be, unfortunately, if I were home, but I'm glad to be here. There's a lot of great energy, and I'm learning about all kinds of cool things going on Long Island.
So what have you learned?
Well, there's too much to say, but I didn't know. I grew up in Long Island in Huntington. I live now technically still on Long Island in Brooklyn. And in my neighborhood in Brooklyn,
Technically that is Long Island.
Yes.
I live in Queens.
There you
That's
go.
Right. It's all one landmass.
And, in the city, in Brooklyn and Queens, you're always hearing about, in my neighborhood, there's green stores and there's green products, just down the street. And I'm a part of the Park Slope Food Co-op, which is a wonderful organization. But then to see, it's like, duh, well, of course stuff is going on Long Island, but all of the green products, all the stores that are offering, they have here some people who will install solar rooftops and all these things going on right here at home. It's very exciting.
No, so there's organic products and there's all kinds of energy-saving things. And did you see the little car? The little car was hilarious.
I haven't been by the little car yet.
In Brooklyn, that may be easy to park.
And there's some serious advantages. I noticed in these other suburbs, everybody parks like 3 feet apart. It's like, we don't do that in Brooklyn. We park 6 inches apart.
And what are you doing at 4:45 today?
I'm going to speak about, the title of my talk comes from a song that I've written called Let It Show. And the idea is let it show that we have a lot of work to do to save this planet, and we have to find our joy and let it show, integrate it into our lifestyle, these habits of mind, these habits certainly of consumption or non-consumption, as the case may be, and that we need to be joyful about this. It's not about guilt and suffering and terror about the sea levels rising, but about just getting together with good people like we have here at the Green Expo, and finding community and finding solutions together and finding our joy in that and letting it show.
Now, do you have a website?
I do. It's www.jenchapin.com, and there's music up there and different things I've written and press reviews and schedules. I'll be playing out in Long Island soon at the Relay for Life in Half Hollow Hills on May 31st, and hopefully get some more things going on, and people can sign up for my mailing list and get all kinds of information there. JenChapin.com.
Any cool, down the road things you want to leak to me as a member of the press? Anything on the horizon that's kind of cool? A scoop?
Well, I have a brand new album out.
Okay. And it's called?
It's called Light of Mine, and it's actually a CD and a DVD.
Okay. And
these days you do kind of a rolling album release. You don't have the street date because everything's online and so on. But I'm going to have an official CD release party for that on Thursday, July 3rd.
Okay.
And
where?
At Joe's Pub, which is in Lower East Side or East Village in New York City.
Okay.
A really cool place. It sounds like a place where you do a shot, but it's actually sort of an elegant cabaret room.
Well, do they have organic vodka there?
That's a good thing. I know they have vodka. Whether they have organic vodka is another question.
We may have
they won't be far behind. That is the way.
And so this album will be available on July 3rd.
It's available now. You can find it online, cdbaby.com, and through my website, jenchapin.com. Okay. And it's not in stores yet. But.
Do you have a favorite song? I know that they're all your favorites, but of that album.
I have a song that I wrote, which is very appropriate to the moment. It's called Lullaby, and I wrote it for my son, who's 2.5. And it's a lullaby, but it's a lullaby it's kind of cruel because it says, sleep now, get your rest, because tomorrow you have to get up and save the world and stop global warming. And that's not explicitly what the song says, but there's a lyric, into glorious answers, they're already there. We have so many solutions everywhere around us. Here at the Green Expo and everywhere, we know what we need to do. We just have to do it.
And kick it into gear.
Yeah, kick it into gear and celebrate that and rally around that. So that's what the song is about. And the album is called Light of Mine, and it comes from the old spiritual, This Little Light of Mine. And it's actually different for me because it's mostly cover songs. But the themes of the songs, there's a couple that I wrote, but the themes of the songs are like moving away from the politics of fear. And the whole idea that there's nothing we could do, we have to wait for these macho men or women to rescue us, but saying we all have this little light within us that we have to let it show. We have to we can't just wait for the Kyoto Protocol and this and that. We all have to change our habits now, and we can find light in that and joy in that.
Well, I know because I'm an attorney, and I visit the Brooklyn courts every once in a while, and they got the Green Market out in Brooklyn Heights.
Yeah.
And there's actually a lot of very interesting, stores and things like that.
Definitely.
And so for a place that's very urban, Brooklyn is surprisingly progressive in the green effort.
Well, actually, that's one of the real myths that we're getting over is like, in the 60s, people would go out to the countryside because they wanted to live an eco life. And yeah, it's great to live off the land, but what are you putting into your lawn, to maintain it? How much does it cost to heat your home and cool your home and maintain your landscaping? And the fact is that the greenest place to live, not to criticize the wonderful lifestyle on Long Island, is the city. Density is really the way to go. So, I live in an apartment building with 60 units, and I live right next to one of the most beautiful parks, Prospect Park. So I get to both enjoy the greenness of that and the fact that there's a lot of oxygen in the air from that park. But also I live in a building where we're sharing resources. We're learning to get along with each other. We're sharing the elevator and sharing the heating and cooling, and so that's the ultimate efficiency. Is living in the city.
That's right. The bus and the subway.
And the bus. Without saying, I can't deal with getting in the car. I just love being able to walk to the grocery store and walk to the. So that's something. There are so many advantages to living in the suburbs, and there's so many ways to green your lifestyle in the suburbs, but living in an urban environment is inherently green.
Yeah, there's a great organic place that I go to in Brooklyn, not too far from the Grand Army Plaza. I forgot the name of it. It's on the right.
I live right there at Grand Army Plaza.
Yeah, okay, because I take from the court to go back to my office in my eco-friendly car. I go on East. Are
we annoying?
Flatbush Avenue South to Eastern Parkway by way of the Grand Army Plaza. There's a great little health food place, and there's a lot of free parking, like right in front of the joint.
I wonder which place, because you're talking right about my neighborhoods.
Yeah,
but there's so much good stuff.
It is. It's great.
Yeah, and that's what's exciting about today is to see all the good stuff happening here.
That's great. Any other eco comments you have before we sign off?
Gosh, there's so much to say, but plastic bottles, they gotta go.
They gotta go.
Plastic bags. Actually, there's a girl here named Sarah who crocheted out of plastic bags. And I love, I use the mesh bags, which can hold so much and sling over your shoulder. But she took the plastic shopping bags and made yarn out of them, I don't know how she hooked it together, but she said it was a cinch, and made a very hip purse out of it.
That's very cool.
So there's use your imagination. That's the word of the day.
Imagination.
Creativity, imagination.
Well, thank you for your time. Very nice of you.
My pleasure.
Thank you.